for another upload in relation to the Action Comics. Last upload, Jerry the Jitterbug went a little nuts and he reversed what he was going to do in relation to the second wrap. And well, I just dropped a piece of glass if you didn't hear that, but luckily it didn't break. So here's the wrap that I repaired the staple hole, or the staple area, with the Tengojo paper. And now what I want to do is I want to use this as a template. And the reason why I flattened out this actual wrap is because we want to cut the actual first wrap that I leaf casted. So it was necessary, I felt at least, to flatten it out so I can use this to match up the first wrap that I leaf casted. Now I'm cleaning up my workstation a little bit as we speak. It is a little messy. I hope everyone had a nice 4th of July weekend or midweek. I did. So what do we want to do? What I want to do is I want to grab the leaf casted wrap that I did, the first wrap, and we're going to start playing around with it to see if we can match it up. So I'm going to shut the camera off right now, and I'm going to grab it out of Big Bertha where it is right now, and we're going to play around with it. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back. I just took the first wrap that I leaf casted out of the press, and I'm removing it right now from the shelving units. A little off camera. So let me grab it, and here it is. There's the first wrap. Now, the main thing of importance is that I want to match up the existing page with the new page. What does that mean? Well, this is the wrap that I leaf casted, and this was from the donor book. I think it came out pretty nice. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll have to clean it up a little bit, but we're good right now. So tell me what you think. I personally think it looks dynamite, and I think I did a great job. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. So what I want to do is I want to find the center of the page. And I can do that where we can look at the old staple holes, which is right here, and whether that's where the staples should go, it's a different story, because it looks like in this wrap it was a little off. And as you can see, you're never really going to match it up perfectly. We have to take this Tengojo off too. So let's look. We're looking right now, and this looks like it's 14 3/4. So we're dealing with some sophisticated mathematical equations right now, dividing 14 3/4. So we'll do that, and we'll figure out the center. Or we can just do it where we're going to eye it. And that's another way we can do it. And I'm thinking probably about just like this. this looks like a pretty good way to do it. And you see how it's all cockeyed. It truly is cockeyed. So I want to trace this wrap, and I want to trace it onto the first wrap, and we want to do it so we can cut it. Remember, Collecting Chaos asked to do it this way, and I'm going to do it that way for him because we wanted to make it where the wraps were going to be the same. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to line this up because I have to get really close. And once I do that, I'll be right back and we'll start making the lines to actually cut this wrap so it looks nice, like it was a part of the original book. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. And I'm going to do something a little different because I do not have X-ray vision like Superman. I want to use the inside of the graphics in order to make my lining up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very slight pencil mark on the leaf casting, just like this. I'll erase that when I am finished. So let's do it on the other side as well, and I'll show you the reasoning behind doing this. Another slight pencil mark there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same up here as well. So I'm going to do a slight pencil mark and a slight pencil mark, just like that. Now I want to say something. When you use a pencil on leaf casted pages, you always make sure it's very sharp so you can rest the actual side of the pencil on making the marks without fear of damaging it. So what I want to do now is I want to also make a pencil mark, which all will be erased, going vertically where the graphics are, just like this. And you'll see the reason why I'm doing this shortly. We'll put another mark here vertically. Doesn't have to be exact, but I need to have a reference nonetheless. So here is my graphics. I don't even know if the camera's picking it up, but there is slight marks there. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna line up the graphics to the marks that I made. And it's not gonna be exact, but it's gonna be a good reference point. So right there, I have it lined up. Okay, so we have horizontal, and then we have vertical. Horizontal and vertical. So these are the marks right here. So now what I want to do is I want to take let's use the clear one, and I'm putting pressure down, and I want to take it where I am going to measure it, or where I'll be able to leave markings on the leaf casting just like this, so I know how to cut the page to line it up nicely. So that's one marking right there. Again, I'm putting pressure on the page. Let's see if we can do this area right here. Actually, I should be doing it this way. Let's slide it down. And I know this may be a little boring, and I thought maybe should I do this off camera, but this is how I'm doing, and I thought it would be interesting to show you. So now I'll make a mark right here. This is where we're going to cut the leaf casting. And if this was a straight comic, meaning if it was cut straight, it would be a little different. But as you can see, they cut it from the factory very wonky. And then I'll have my bottom line on the other side. And now we'll just flip it around. And this is detail, guys. This is attention to detail. It's not just cutting. And I've learned attention to detail. I'm going to say the biggest book I learned attention to detail in doing was Mike Night Tiger's Captain Arrow. And I wish I had that book again now that I can do it over, because I would have done a lot of things differently. But that's the learning process. That is how we evolve, and we do things differently, and we actually do things better with practice and with different techniques. So here we go. There's the other piece, and I don't like the way I measured this, so this is going to have to come down a tiny bit. There we go. So here's our cutting parameters. And look, a little corner came off, and we'll just get rid of it, just like that. So I hope everyone is still awake, but this is how the page should be cut. So how are we going to cut it? Well, I'm going to get my glass, because I always like cutting on glass, because I think it gives it the best cut, and we're going to use fresh razor blades. So we're going to have a little glare, guys, but there's nothing that could be done about it. Maybe I'll tone down the lights so we have a nice viewing pleasure. So let me just shut the camera off and we'll set it up. Okay, guys, we're back. I took some of the lights off so it wouldn't be a big reflection. And we're gonna do the delicate procedure of cutting the leaf casted page. Hopefully we can do it without any issues. So I'm taking a fresh razor blade, and I'm going to start with the right side. So we'll line up the straight clear edge. And when I cut leaf casted pages, I like to start not from the edge, because if you start from the edge, you run the risk of ripping it and tearing it. So you start from the edge, from a middle section, and there you go. Look at that. Nice, beautiful cut. We'll put the pulp to the side. I have a big bag that I keep pulp in for use at a later date. So now we're gonna cut the other side. And I'm gonna overlap it just a tiny bit, because I want a little bit more space to make up for the, actually, let's do a quick measurement right now. Where is my tape? Because I just thought of something, and I want to do a measurement to make sure we are on the same page. So bear with me. I'm going to shut off the camera one more time. Okay, we're back. So here is the tape that I'm going to use, and here is the original wrap. I just want to confirm before we make the horizontal cut. I want to try to make the measurement to make sure I am not cutting off more than needs to be cut off. Because if we do all this work and it's short, I look like a fool. So let's do a quick measurement. And I got it right there. So we're looking at, you know what, let's do it this way. I'm sorry, guys, but this is the life of a comic book conservator. And if we don't do it right, we're wasting our time. Okay? Is this the most accurate measurement? No, but it just gives me a good prediction, not a good prediction, a good method of measuring it. So I have that set up. And let's see. So we're looking at about 15, and I want to make it 15 plus. Let's make sure I'm on the same wavelength. Let's see what we're dealing with now. Yup, so good thing I measured it. I'm right on 15, so my gut feeling was correct. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it probably 1/8 of an inch bigger, which is what I want because this is the first wrap. Okay, so let's do it. Let's just make one more measurement with the straight edge. Okay, and I'm sure this is wonderful entertainment for everyone. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and we can always trim it. I'm thinking right there. Okay, let's cut it. I'm using the other side of the razor blade. Done. So there we go. There we have our two sides cut. Now we're going to have to do these funky cuts. And let's see if we can get it just like that. And I'm gonna go from here and let's drag it along. Done. I can feel it. Now let's flip it around. And let's do this oddball cut. Let's get it on the line. Right there, that looks good. And hopefully we do a good job with this. I think we will. Let's start from here. And then let's go back up. Done. Okay, guys, we're getting there. How's it look? See how it's not straight? And that's how the wrap was. So I'm really getting into some major precision work here. This is not something that is just cutting it. This is some serious stuff. And what I want to do here is I just want to check Now, since we have it cut, this top one. Okay, now look, see how much more I left on the right side and the left side, which is what I wanted to do. So let's bring it down. And it looks, look how nice it is, how matched up it is. But I just want to do one thing. I want to put the center line of this wrap so I know where we're gonna do the cuts to. And there's reasoning behind my madness. So what we'll do is there's the center, and then I'm gonna match it up right there. Just like that. And this should do what I need to do. I'll go to that line that I just did. Now we'll go up. Now we're gonna do the front page, and we'll do it from the line right there, and we'll go up. And this is some crazy stuff going on. This is very detailed work, guys, and I hope that you are enjoying it. Look at that. So there is the first wrap. I hope you enjoyed this, and I know I did, because I think that looks awesome. Let's put the other wrap on top of it by way of example, and let's line it up. And I think we did a pretty nice job, guys. I left a little bit space on each side so we can make it a little bit bigger. Once it wraps around all those wraps, you know, you lose some space, but tell me what you think. I think I did great. So, since we're here, since we're cutting, let's cut the tipped in page, as everyone knows, where I just leaf casted the one side. So this is going to be an easy job, and very easy. So let's just line it up just like this. And you see how this is a little wrinkly? That is what happens when you don't use Big Bertha. So let's get this just like this. So let's cut the tipped in page. Now a tipped in page, or tipping in a page, is when the publisher or the printing company put individual pages into the book. And apparently this was something that they did in the golden age. Whether it was the way they produced, it was oddball pages, I don't know, I wasn't there. But I do know that's the term that it's called, thanks to Kenny Sanderson. He told me that. Now what I want to do is I just want to make it, because we're going to tip this page in, so we're going to go a little bit more, just like that, so we can wrap it around. And we're just going to do a straight cut. So I probably lost about, I would say, 90% of my viewers, because who wants to watch cutting pages and things like that? Maybe. I do see there's a few channels now that are doing conservation. I applaud them. So there you go. There's the page that's going to be tipped in. Okay? So we're pretty much done with the cutting. There's only one more page that has to be cut. And it's not a page, it is the cover. So you know what? Since we're here and we're doing all cutting, let's get going with it. Here is the cover. let's do it. Let's take care of it. Because then the next upload, I think what I can do is I can actually start putting this book together. So let's do this. Let's cut it and let's see if we can do it without messing things up. This may be a tough one. And let's do it on, to be honest, I'm gonna do this off camera. And the reason why I'm gonna do it off camera is because I have to put all the lights on and I have to get close and I don't feel like filming the back of my head, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back. And I successfully cut the first wrap. Here it is. And I'm very happy with the results. I see right here I forgot a little piece of Tengojo, but we'll take care of that. So, that cover I think looks dynamite. I don't know if you recall, but prior, really it was in very bad shape. You couldn't even touch it. But the key thing is, am I going to be able to get it back together? Now here's the first wrap. Let's compare it up and let's see if I was able to do the cutting proper. And the answer is yes. Look at that. It definitely is lined up nicely with the factory defects in the way the book was cut. So let's put this to the side and let's get the first wrap below. Ooh, see what happens? Sometimes you drop things. But guess what? It's conserved and it's in good shape. So it was able to sustain no injuries. So look at that. Very nice contour, cut very similar. And I'm very happy with how I matched it up. I'm a little off on this corner, which I'll shave that down. I'm gonna be honest, we can't have that. So I'll work on this right here. We're gonna have to shave down the actual first wrap. But overall, this was very productive in my opinion. And I think that I am happy with everything. So what we're gonna do next upload is we're gonna start putting this book back together. And once we put it back together, it's gonna be, or actually these next steps are gonna be very fast. So stay tuned and I'll see you next upload.